Oh, whoa, daddy, it's your boy Andy Bivians. It's Bivians, for I am the one true daddy. Bivians INC in professional wrestling, your American icon. And today we have another episode of Know Thy Neighbor. And sitting next to me, the man, the myth, the legend. I say this about everybody, and I actually feel it in my soul with this one. Chris. Welcome, Chris.
Hey, thank you, Andy. I appreciate you having me, brother.
Yeah, anytime, anytime. How are you today?
Real good, man. It's Mother's Day today, so got to spend a little time with Ma, which is good. But yeah, just rocking and rolling.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome. So here on Know Thy Neighbor, we try to get the story about who you are. You know, what makes you you, what makes you tick. So thank you for coming on. Thank you for joining us. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. So.
Awesome. So first question, very hard, very tough, very, very tough.
I'm ready.
Are you happy?
Am I happy? Yeah. Yeah, I am. And I wasn't always happy, man. It's taken a long time to... For me, the biggest thing in life is always trying to find. Everyone's got that American dream. You know, we always want to be in that place where you want to find the thing that makes you happy every day. And you wake up and you say, "I love what I do. I love being who I am, and I love the life that I'm living." Finally, we've gotten there. So it's taken some time. It's taken some work. There's been ups and there's downs, but we're there. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. So, what makes you so happy?
Oh man, I got so many things to be thankful for, man. I do. My family, my fiance, my, soon to be, daughter, that they're fantastic. I couldn't ask for, better people in my life. So I've got that. My friends are fantastic. You over here, Andy, we go back a bit and I've got good people in my life. On top of that, the work that I do, is the best work in the world. I've got the best job on the face of the earth. I make people's dreams come true and make people's best day of their lives even better. And I'm lucky. Awesome. I'm lucky for that. So
that's awesome. Well, congratulations. I heard you say new fiance,
yes.
New daughter-in-law. Very good. That's awesome. I'm very happy for both of you.
I appreciate that.
Congratulations. So what type of work do you do?
All right, well, I own Music Speaks Volumes Entertainment. We're a full-service DJ, photo booth, and videography company here in the Hudson Valley. Primarily we do a lot of weddings. That's what we do. We spend, sometimes 200 plus weddings a year, and we spend all of our time with couples getting married, sharing love, and partying. So
that's awesome.
I get paid to party, man.
That's awesome.
The greatest job in the world.
That's awesome. So you literally make people's best day better.
Yeah. It's the greatest feeling in the world to know that every time I go to work, I'm there to celebrate. I'm there to make their dream day come true, and I'm there to party with them. So
that's awesome.
It's the best. It's the best.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's go back to your childhood. What would you say would be one of the most impactful memories from your childhood?
Oh man, impactful memories from my childhood. So, this is kind of a little bit of a rough story. So I have a special needs sister. She has a very rare syndrome called PAX1. It's similar in feelings to autism, but she's got a learning disability. She has a speech impediment. She didn't walk for a long time in her life. And one thing that I always had to struggle with as a child was kids being kids, kids not knowing, and kids then trying to be funny to make light of a situation that they're not familiar with. So I'll never forget one time I was driving, on the bus to school, whatever, and some kid, made some comment about my sister, being special needs, said some nice words about her. And, it was that point in my life that kind of, I feel, really changed who I was as a person, in that I was never going to be that guy. I was never going to be the person to put other people down because of something that they can or can't do. That day changed me. I didn't have nice words with that guy. That didn't end well. But
I can only imagine.
It didn't end well. But I learned a really valuable lesson at the end of it. You never know what other people are going through, and you never know what struggles people have. And at the end of the day, you need to be bigger than the people that are putting people down and belittling people. You always need to be the stronger person, the one in the right state of mind. Just be good to people, man. So that was an important day for me. Yeah.
I hear that. I hear that 100%. Are you and your sister still close to this?
Oh, absolutely. I just left their house a little bit ago.
That's awesome.
She's the sweetest thing on the face of the earth, man. You know, she couldn't ask for a better sister. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What would you say would be the most like a worst / difficult time in your childhood?
So, well, I come from a very old school Italian family. You can picture the people. You know, it's what you see in the movies. That's really what it is. And you know, my family's got a whole bunch of different careers. From, you know, some of my family's in construction, some owns a construction company. I've got a family member who's a doctor, and everyone's got really solid, substantial careers. So growing up, it was always hard for me to decide. I always wanted to be a musician. You know, from as a kid, you know, I loved musical theater. I love to sing. You can imagine, you know, an 8-9-year-old kid who wants to do musical theater, what your family's thinking. You know, and coming from an old school Italian family, you know what you're getting. And so that was a hard time for me, man. It really was. You know, I had a passion for something that was obscure and different, and obviously has some subtext that automatically comes along with it, just being what the field is. So I had to overcome that. You know, I had to, you know, just push forward, make it seem at the end of the day, it's not about what you do, it's about, you know, what you love it. There's no stigma to any specific thing that you do. So that was tough for me. You know, I had to fight, but you know, it worked out. It did. So
now, for those of you that are just meeting Chris for the first time, we had the nickname Show Tunes for Chris because this man can sing show tunes like you have never heard before in your life. I promise you. Literally, when I hear certain like songs and stuff, your voice pops up, not the voice that I'm watching. So that's really awesome. Did you ever follow through on that? Did you ever do anything on that?
I did musical theater. You know, straight through high school. I actually went to for a short period of time, but went to SUNY Purchase. I was in their opera conservatory, so I was singing opera at that point. And I've done so much local theater and regional theater. Never got to a professional level, just out of, you know, it's a tough career to get into. Finance is tough. You have to really be able to commit your time to auditioning and kind of working dead end, you know, small jobs just to kind of keep yourself afloat. And that overall, that wasn't really the life that I wanted for myself. Right. But, you know, I still sing, I still perform. If I get opportunities, you know, local theaters and things like that to do stuff, and I've got the time to do it, I absolutely jump on those opportunities. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. You should start see, now you got my brain going. You should start like a TikTok where you just fucking singing show tunes. Just going, yeah, just throw on one and just fucking just go. That'd be dope.
All right, we can work something out.
I'm down with that. So what would you say was one of your happiest moments as a kid?
Oh, yeah, this was a big thing for me. So the first, you know, I fell in love with theater when I was in sixth grade. I had a music teacher who, in that year of music, they were going to just play musicals for us, and we had to learn about the musicals and kind of that style of music. So the first thing we watched, I remember, was Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and I was like, cool, okay. This is weird, but it's cool. I like it. So did like a little impromptu like performance in class, which was a lot of fun, and then we watched The Music Man, which, those of you that don't know, is a real old school, old-timey musical. Not really the best musical in the world, but I just fell in love with the art of it. I fell in love with the craft of it. I thought this was cool. It's got so much incorporated. There's acting, there's singing, there's dancing. There's so many talents that are required to make this happen. That's cool. And found out that sixth grade year, my elementary school was doing a production of The Music Man that I could audition for. And I was like, awesome. Never been on stage before. I was a terrible singer at that time in my life. Could not sing a note. I was kind of like middle of puberty. Like my voice didn't know what it was doing. Didn't know if I was going to still be like prepubescent high voice or if my voice was going to drop. I was terrible. But I auditioned, got the lead role in The Music Man in sixth grade, and that kind of just like kicked it off for me. But let me tell you, a life-changing experience when that happens for you at that age.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So did you have like a lot of shows with that, or?
It was like a weekend's worth. You know, we did like three performances of that. But nonetheless, for, you know, a sixth grader, you know, there was a ton of lines to memorize. I had songs to sing. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I couldn't be more proud of myself at that point in my life. You know, I was like, I'm the man right now. Nobody else thinks I am, but I feel like the man.
Bro, you got the lead role in your favorite play.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I was younger, and not many people know this, and I'm actually putting this out there for the first time. I was the child version of Conrad Birdie.
Oh yeah,
in a Conrad Birdie play in Jersey.
I did a production of Bye Bye Birdie.
Did you?
In seventh grade. Yeah, I did. Yep.
I never got the lead role. I was just like the main kid to Conrad in like one scene, and then that was it.
That's so funny.
So I can only imagine like you being the lead role must have felt like amazing. I thought I was Superman at that point.
Yeah,
but you having the lead role on like the entire thing, that must have been awesome.
Life changing. Like you think all of a sudden like you're this like really shy, awkward kid who likes theater, and next thing you know, like everything that you've ever wanted to do is like coming to fruition, even though you're terrible and you're I mean you're in sixth grade. This isn't Broadway here, but it still feels good. Like it kind of changes your perspective. That's kind of what parachuted the rest of my career doing that, is that I had that one opportunity. I was given that opportunity and then could kind of run with it.
That's wild. That's awesome. That's cool. So let's shoot over to a more darker experience out.
Sure.
What's your biggest fear?
Biggest fear would be to lose any of the people that mean the most to me, to lose my fiance, to lose my stepdaughter, to lose my mother and my father, even they're getting up there. So I think that those are, I'm such a people person, and I survive kind of off of the energy that people bring around me. So I think losing one of them, whether it be, a physical loss or even an emotional loss, I think would be that'd be really heartbreaking for me. I'd have a tough time with that. Mm-hmm.
Would you say like that's something that kind of like pushes you every single day?
The fear of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fortunate in that I do have the support of my friends and family in pretty much everything that I do, and my close family. So I don't fear that if I were to fail at what I do, that they would then leave me or forsake me for that purpose. But I do it for them. I do it because I want to be the support, and I want them to see me constantly being happy. I've worked so many dead end jobs where you're kind of just going through the motions and going through the day to day, and you're just beating yourself up, and they see that and they see the toll it takes on you. So that hurts them. So it's I get to be a different person doing what I do. So I would say, yeah, a little bit,
That's awesome. That's awesome. What's the best advice you ever received?
I took this one to heart, man. If you believe in something, do not stop talking about it until you get it. Literally, you are your own advertisement. You are the person that is going to push you to the next level. So never ever doubt yourself, and always put yourself to the next step. That's the best advice I've ever received, and the best advice I will give to anybody. And I can say this from experience, man. There's been so many jobs that I've worked and things that I've had where I work at a job for say 6 months. I'm like, I think I'm good with this. I can make more money. You talk. You open your mouth. If you're worth it and you think you're worth it, and you can do more work and make more money, talk to the person who's going to make that happen for you. And don't let it up. You just keep talking. Do not shut your mouth. Be annoying. Put yourself in a position where people really recognize what you think you're able to do, and eventually they'll start to believe it. I could say that if opportunities come your way and you're feeling a little bit shy or nervous to kind of take that opportunity or to talk to them about it, just do it. Just open your mouth, say what you got to say, and you never know where life's going to lead you with that. So open your mouth. That's the advice.
I don't know if y'all heard that, but that's a bar right there for sure. So where were you when like an event like 9/11? Do you have any memories of that?
I do actually, very, very clearly. Can't remember what teacher I had, but I was in 4th grade. I was in elementary school. I think I was actually for a short time over in Poughkeepsie, but nonetheless, I remember very distinctly, my mom has always been the type of person that if anything happens, she's immediately there to pick me up. And I was one of the first people to get called out of the class. They called me down, and my mom was like, I'm taking you home. And I was like, what's going on? And she was like, some really bad things happened. We'll talk about it in the car. So we went in the car, sat down, and 9/11 was really scary for me. My dad is an iron worker in Manhattan.
Oh, wow.
So he was working. He was set to be working on the World Trade Center that day. So we had no idea what was going on. We couldn't get in touch with him. Cell phone service was down. It was bad back then anyway, but we had no way of contacting him or communicating with him. And we didn't hear from him for almost 15 hours. It was pretty much that point in the evening, 11 to 12 o'clock at night, where he finally reached out to us, said that his job had got moved for the day, and he ended up being uptown a little bit, but he couldn't get out of the city. So pretty much him and a bunch of the guys on the job pretty much hijacked, one of the business trucks and just bolted out. And eventually he got home the next morning. But scary day, man.
That's wild.
Yeah, life changing. That was an experience, man.
That's crazy. So, which parent would you say that you had the best relationship with?
Oh, I've had a good relationship with both my parents, but I would say my mom has been more of the person that I can talk to. My dad, as I said, comes from really old school Italian type, so he's a little on the hard side. He's a little tough, but my mom has always been good. She's been there and supported us for my entire life, still to this day. I mean, she'll do my laundry if I asked her. I don't, but she would. She's always been great. She's always supportive. Anything that I want to do. I mean, she has her questions and she has her concerns, but really at the end of the day, she always knows that if it's something that's that important to me, she gets it and she supports me. So definitely mom.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So looking towards the future, like where do you see yourself within like 5, 10, 25 years, retirement years?
Yeah, I mean, 5, 10 years or so, I'm just trying to keep doing what I'm doing, man. I literally can't imagine doing anything else. I love it so much.
That's
I'm
awesome.
So passionate about it. I just want to keep doing it. So I want to do more of it. That's really it. It's just, how can I grow this even bigger? How can I do more? I considered, buying a camera and like maybe I'll start trying some photography myself. See if I can like get into that side of the business, just because I love the environment. It's a cool place to be. So I just really want to grow this, watch it succeed, just keep making people's days perfect, keep making their lives better, keep making their best day of their life the best day of their life, and eventually one day, maybe start something else. I've talked about real estate and things like that, but I don't have passion for that. I know there's money in those fields, but for me, it's not the money. It's I just love doing what I'm doing. So why stop? So if I can DJ until I'm 75 years old, you guys will have me. I'll be there.
I'm sure you probably could. I 1,000% believe you probably could. You'll be doing people's weddings and then their daughters' weddings and then their grand.
That's the goal.
Yeah,
man.
keep going, man.
Generations. I'll roll up in a wheelchair. I'll still rock.
That's awesome. So then, would you say like growing up, or just realizing this now, would this be like your unbreakable dream, or do you have like another unbreakable dream that...
This was the unknown one. This was I love to sing and I love music, and I've always been an old school hip hop guy. I've always loved, all genres. I'm not really picky when it comes to music, and I found that I just always had a passion for it. I love the art, I love the words, I love the stories that they tell. So music has always been so important to me. That being said, singing as a profession will never die for me. That'll always be the thing that, if possible, if someone offered me like a contract to go sing somewhere, I would still DJ. But I'd also make that singing contract happen, just because that's always been the thing for me, and I've had to work so hard to train to get myself to that level where I can do it. But I mean, this was, as I said, this was the undecided dream, and it kind of just fell. The pieces fell right where they should have, and it just made sense.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So you said you're a hip hop lover. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
So I'm really into, funk, hip hop, kind of more jazzy stuff. Tribe Called Quest. Like Mobb Deep.
Okay.
Like my old school stuff, so it's, but as I said, I'm so open to all sorts of music, but I've always had a, just like that early 90s, late 80s hip hop is kind of like, that's what I sit in the room. That's what I sit in the room and listen to, if I'm just chilling, just laid back, that's where we're going.
And you talked about telling a story too, like back then.
That's it. I mean, that's the difference between today's hip hop and back then's hip hop is it was a story. They were telling you something most of the time. You obviously had your other songs.
I mean, you had a little bit.
you had your other songs, but some of these artists, they really, they tell exactly. You get a story in 3.5 minutes, and that's the best part of hip hop, and that's why I like it so much. Singing and music is great, and I love that, but I think the storytelling portion adds a whole new aspect. Plus, the beats are dope. So,
absolutely. Have you ever had any near-death experiences?
Oh yeah, I sure did actually. I mean, not that I was injured, but I was almost killed.
Shit.
Yeah, when I was my smart ass when I was a kid, I did, like those little Flintstones cars, the little brown ones that you pretty much use as a child, like put your feet in.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So here I am, like 5 or 6 years old, hanging out with my brother and my friends, outside when kids used to play outside. That was
what is that?
What is that?
Not on the phone. What?
Yeah, exactly. So we decided it'd be a great idea if I put on some roller skates, sit in this little Flintstone car, and then roll down this massive hill that has this big blind turn. That's a great idea. You should do that. Yeah, sounds like fun. So nonetheless, I did it. I get the roller skates on, the little cart. I'm telling you, Andy, when I went down this hill, got to that blind corner, there was a car coming up the other side. Within milliseconds, that would have been it. I just missed it, flew off into the grass, down I went. 3 seconds, I would have been dead.
That's wild.
If I had thought a moment less. So, I mean, crazy.
That's wild. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, right? Like, was so stupid, first of all. But,
Like, when you look back at it, you're like, that was awesome. But now you're like, wait a second.
What were you thinking? Yeah.
Why did I do that?
Right.
That's crazy. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that, you build off into that.
Absolutely. I'm just saying, like, if my daughter did something like that, I'd be like, what is wrong with you?
Why would you do that?
Think about something like that.
Well, see, what happened was you.
Yeah, I figured the more wheels, the faster you go, right? Let's get 12 wheels on this.
I mean, you were right.
Yeah,
but
there was no stopping me.
That's crazy. So, have you ever had like a supernatural experience?
A supernatural experience? No, I can't. I really can't say that I have.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing supernatural. It's everything. I come from like a really like a thought process, like I'm a logical guy. I'm just
okay.
Really, like
okay.
So everything has an explanation in my world. So maybe at some point in my life it's happened. I just explained it away. So,
All right, no doubt. What's your most cherished childhood memory?
My most cherished childhood memory. It's a little sad, so I'm gonna get a little dark here. But the final moments that I had with my grandfather before he passed away, those were some really special moments. He wasn't really able to say much, but me and my grandfather always had a good relationship growing up. He's actually on my leg over here.
That's awesome.
And the final moments I got to spend with him, I actually ended up moving into my grandmother's house while he was, kind of in his end stages in his last couple of weeks. And, I got to spend a little bit of time with him, talking with him. He wasn't really much understanding. He wasn't talking back, but those moments I'll never forget. It was nice to be able to share those last, couple of weeks with him in that way where it was, he knew, I knew, but it was still, it's something I can't forget. That's really that.
You were still there though. So that's what mattered. That's right. Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Got me choked up here, man. Come on.
This is what Know Thy Neighbor is about. We're getting to the deep end. No, that's awesome. That's really beautiful. What would you say one of your biggest regrets is?
I've got a couple. One is not finishing school. I'm always curious where that path would have taken if I finished out opera school and what would have happened. So that's just, more of a curiosity sake, not so much a regret, but I just, where would I have been? Would I still be here today? Would I be doing something else? And then part of me feels that I could have and maybe should have tried a little harder once I did leave school, decided to audition in the city, decided to go that route. I think that I could have spent some more time doing that, committing to it. I was so worried about finances at that point in my life. I really had nothing to work off of, so I was just worrying about the day-to-day, and the auditions would fall to the wayside. But I think if I had spent a little bit more effort, a little more trying into that, there could have been a different situation today. So, as I said, it's a regret, but I don't harp on it,
Okay. So I'm actually going to add one.
Yeah.
Working on the fly here.
Yeah.
Have you ever had... So... I've had this conversation with multiple people. I have a certain feeling when it comes to this phrase. And I feel like certain people understand where I'm coming from, and other people, they change my perspective on it, but it still kind of stays like in that genre.
Right.
Have you ever had somebody tell you this? Or what is your perspective on hearing somebody say, you should be realistic?
Oh man, it's the worst. It's the worst. I come from a field where like realistic doesn't exist, man. I work in music for a living. Like I play with music for a job, and I get paid really well to do it. You know, it's never be realistic. Dream. Always fight for your dream. Always take that shot. If you feel like you can't do it, try it anyway, because you never know what's going to happen. As I said, one of those regrets, I was being realistic with myself and decided I was going to stop auditioning as much as I was because I thought that there was no real career there. I was trying to be realistic because everyone was telling me, right? What did that do for me? I have a regret now. That I have to deal with. So no, don't be realistic. Never be realistic. Stop that. Just do you. Do what makes you happy. Do what's gonna fulfill you. Because at the end of the day, you live one time. This is the only shot you got. This is the only chance we have to be here. If you don't do it, you're never gonna get the chance to. So try, and if you fail, then you tried, and that's really it. So yeah.
I dig that. I dig that. So. What would you say your biggest drive and motivation is in life?
Family, future, definitely my family. I think is definitely the most motivated. I want them to have everything that I couldn't have in my life, and I want them to, eventually, I've got my stepdaughter, but when I have a kid of my own, as well, I want those two to just be able to do whatever they want and never have to wonder if we can make it swing. So I just want to give them everything. So that's the only goal. That's the only thing I want to do is give everything for them. That's why I drive. That's why I do what I do. That's why I work so hard and I'm constantly hustling because they mean the world to me. And I want to make sure that I have everything laid out for them. They don't have to worry about it. I
dig that so much, and I think the one thing I love about that is that you're doing it for other people. You're not doing it for yourself, Granted, you're still enjoying it and still loving it.
Of course.
But it's not your motivating factor. Right. I think that's awesome.
I wouldn't enjoy it as much if they weren't around for it, too. So.
I dig that. So, last but not least, if you had to give yourself one bit of advice to your younger self, what would it be and why?
Never give up. Never give up. Ever, ever, ever. I had a lot of opportunities to go for all those dreams and goals and things that I wanted to do. Missed some of them. But then as I got older and as I learned, you have to you miss 100% of the chances you don't take, man. That's truth. You miss 100% of the chances you don't take. So never doubt yourself. Never think that you can't do something. Have 100% faith in yourself because you're the only person that ever will. And just go for it. Never give up. Never. And that was actually some words from a former dance teacher of mine over here in Hopewell. It was Louis Perez, incredible guy. And his motto was never give up. And he instilled that in me. And I will, if I could go back and tell myself that, just do it. Stop. Don't worry about what other people have to think. Don't worry about what people say to you. They make fun of you. If they joke, they play. You just keep doing you. Don't give up. Keep fighting through. Be you. That's it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I dig that 1,000%. Wow. That your entire story literally just motivated me to do more. You know what I mean? Like just to strive and to do more with life and just keep pushing forward and keep pushing forward for others and doing, what you love to do. Like, I'm very happy everything worked out for you.
Yeah, man.
I can't wait to see.
I'm lucky. I'm happy. And, man, I'm just trying to keep rocking. That's it.
There you go. So why don't you tell the people where they could find you? Tell them what you're doing.
All right, guys. Yeah, absolutely. So as I said, my name's Chris. I'm the owner of Music Speaks Volumes Entertainment. We do DJ services, photo booths, full service videography. You can find us on our website, www.musicspeaksvolumes.com. Check out all of our stuff. We don't just do weddings. We do sweet 16s, birthday parties, engagements, retirements. Pretty much if you're trying to party, we'll be there for it. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram. MSV is what we go by otherwise. And that's pretty much what there is to it.
That's wild. So then again, thank you, Chris, for joining us. Of
course, man.
Thank you
for
for telling your story and
course.
being open with us. I dig it. We're gonna put all of your stuff in the bio, so that way you guys can click it, you guys can find them, you guys can follow them, you guys can support them. So again, remember to like, share, rate, review, comment, subscribe to all things Disaster Party Podcast and Chris. And thank you for being with us.
Thanks again, Eddie. It was a pleasure, man. Thanks, guys.
We are out. Bye. Bye. Boom.